Shit is good. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? This is Big West. Welcome to the Big West Show. Fair use YouTube. Stream on two channels. My main channel, if it ever goes down, if I get blocked again by fucking YouTube, I need you to report to my second channel. It's my other channel right here. Aaron West, 40 plus and black. 40 plus and black. It's only got 27 subscribers, some from this page. This right here, you report there, because that's where the fuck I'ma go if they block my shit. I don't have any content for them to block today. Top of the morning, nigga Pokey. Pokey, what's up, bro? Yo, bro. The shit I just found, you gonna like this shit, man. You gonna like this shit. So, we're gonna start off with this. Because, I always have to wonder, these motherfuckers, you ever just talk to somebody and they're just not getting it? They'll just come back and say the same shit. That it's just not registering what you're saying. And it's almost like you drawing a picture for these motherfuckers and they just can't get it. I found out what it was. I've heard of this shit before, mass psychosis. I've heard of that before, but I didn't know what the hell it was. I wasn't paying attention to it. But check this out. I'm gonna give you an example of what this shit is first. Then we're gonna go into what it is. Look.
That's okay. It's okay.
I appreciate you, man.
Now I'm gonna bring race into it. 400 years of slavery, and also just like the history of America. I don't even have to go that far deep, but why is it such a big deal if the first woman and the first black woman runs the country when y'all have fucked it up for so many years, hundreds of years? I don't understand that.
So do you think then that like everything that's happened in American history in terms of politics is all a monolith of white people?
Majority, yes.
And white people all act the same, have the same interests, and we messed it up so badly?
Not the same interest, but like, I will say white men are accustomed to telling and not listening.
I think that's a dangerous route to go down, because if you start saying something like, okay, look at the white people in charge of this country, look how badly they messed it up. Well, you look at non-white people in charge of other countries in the world and nobody wants to go live there and everyone wants to come live here. So again, if you start keeping score, you can get to some pretty scary conclusions, which...
Whenever a person tries to be a smart ass, and you just say shit, you're not really thinking or checking, you feel me? It just comes out real stupid. That was the easiest rebuttal that man was able to fucking say. These motherfuckers are stupid. We gonna be slaves. He deporting illegally. Do it. Yo, these motherfuckers were literally having nervous breakdowns. They're just like, and yo, the shit I'm about to show you. I said, oh my God, that's exactly what's happening. Right. So this is basically a conservative humiliates Kamala supporters in a crazy debate. Of course, they went. You had the angry black woman, and and I'm gonna say it. All of the guys that are like on this type of shit voted for Kamala. They're either old brainwashed cats, or they niggas like this. This is the niggas that was voting for Kamala, man. Just like the nigga on the screen. I've been noticing that it's either some gay dudes or some old old school cats. And what do they say about old people? They stuck in their ways. You really can't blame the old school cats. It's the men of today. Hold on, I got a comment. Yeah, the zesty motherfuckers, man. He came up there. How come you can't let a woman? Since you guys was nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, oh, I hate it, bro. Like, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I'll say that. I'm not gonna say that I hate these people, the homos, man. The trans niggas, that trans shit, yeah, I don't fuck with y'all niggas at all. At all. You're an abomination. This I just like this. I just like this very strongly. All right. We got the super zesty niggas, and then we got this was only one brother, straight brother. He actually came through, but one out of like 26. Then you had this little loud creature right here.
Hi, I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. So
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York too. And all this shit she talking about is fucking cap. But you could say that to a nigga who wasn't born there or raised there, right? But she using the fact that she was born there, like she know what the fuck going on. She probably never even been past the damn Trump Towers.
I think I'm well versed to comment on this. Okay, Trump is a racist. He's a narcissist. He's a con, and he's a liar. Okay, he had buildings. He didn't allow black people to go in there.
That's
right?
not true.
Yes, it is
not
true.
Not because of his race.
I was a New Yorker. Yes, he was.
Did you try to go in the motherfucking Trump Towers? He turned you back. All this shit is secondhand. Like, that's why, that's why you got to be careful what you say. Certain places you say the wrong shit, man, you get fucked up because reputation is everything. You know what I'm saying? Once you're a celebrity, your reputation is straight at risk.
4 boys was wrongly convicted of a rape of a Central Park jogger.
Yeah,
he paid $80,000 to have it advertised. I was there. I lived there. Okay.
You was in the park.
The trauma that it caused people in New York, we couldn't. I have a brother the same age. We were scared to let our kids out because he put in an ad to put them to death
because they were guilty.
Kids.
They admitted
they
to being
were not guilty.
Yes,
they got DNA.
No, I'm serious.
They were
Look
coerced.
Up the Central Park 5.
They were coerced because back then, the police force was kind of corrupt. They were coerced.
Nah, I actually never dove in that case. I know of one gentleman who's well versed in it. He dove deeply into that case, and he says that them niggas did it. I didn't follow up and check. He's like a statistician like myself. Very knowledgeable guy. Minister Jap, if you ever want to check his page out. Very knowledgeable. He went and checked out the case, and he says that that the motherfuckers did it. But if she wants to bring that up, we can bring up Tawana Brawley. Tawana Brawley said, all of these horrific things happened to her, right? They beat her up and they shitted on her and wrote nigger on her stomach and all this kind of shit. And it turned out that she fucking lied. You got one dude committed suicide. Everybody's life was fucking ruined. I mean, the bitch lied. She was lying. So, whenever a woman I ain't gonna lie, I'm biased when it comes to a woman's allegations, bro. I am, because I've seen too many cases where they have really went after a dude for money, for, or to get out of being looked at as a hoe or a thought. There's a chick. You got women who will lie. You got women who will lie and say that they were raped just to avoid, being found out that they willingly cheated on their fucking husbands. So I'm very biased to that. I consider myself a male advocate because we've hardly had one. The last male advocate we actually had was Kevin Samuels, super famous one, you know. Motherfucker would log on stream and it'd be like 30,000 motherfuckers watching him. That's crazy. I could never do this shit in front of 30,000 motherfuckers. That's just like kind of nerve wracking, right? But back to the bra.
Because they were poor black boys living in the projects.
Okay.
Their parents could not afford a lawyer. Only one, Yusuf, mother, got a lawyer who actually was a real estater. She was either Jamaican or African, got a real estate lawyer, not even a criminal lawyer, right? And that's why he's the only one who didn't confess, okay? I was there. I remember it.
You saw this.
I was living it.
Okay.
I lived in New York.
Okay.
Okay? He is a racist, that he would put an ad out on a paper to convict boys.
What does
young
race
boys.
have to do with it?
So he has.
Please let John respond.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying it's about race, I mean, if you hear a story about 5 boys doing that to a woman, what does race have to do with it?
But
wouldn't you do that about anybody?
You're innocent until you're proven guilty. That's America.
They were.
That's
they should have
America.
been proven
Trump
guilty.
deserved to be murdered then because he's convicted of it.
He's not convicted of rape.
Yes, he is.
That's
He's
absolutely not
convicted of
true.
rape.
He's convicted of rape.
He's a convicted.
felon.
That's not.
Now, this is where you go. You women's. That's why a lot of people consider women stupid, bro, because they speak from their feelings. All women aren't stupid, bro, but the loudest ones in the room be the stupidest, bro. The nigga was not convicted. I don't know, and like you're sitting there with your phone. You're sitting in this forum with your fucking phone. Look it up on your phone, right? Because, I mean, common sense tells me if he was convicted, his ass would have been in jail. What the fuck are you? She sounds stupid, bro. So here we look. Donald Trump's reputation took a hit after New York civil trial jury found in favor of the journalist E. Civil. So once you hear civil ain't criminal, right? And this civil shit, Tuesday, May 23rd, May 12th, 2023, Manhattan jury of 9 men and 3 women found the former president liable for sexual abuse and defaming Carol and awarded Carol $5 million in damages. So the bitch got off for $5 million. This is just a fucking hustle. Linda in the motherfucking house. Right. So this is widely been known to become a hustle for these people. It's a fucking hustle for them. Right? But she's convicted Trump in her mind. He's not convicted in real life. He's just convicted in her fucking mind. So that's what she's speaking from. In her feeling, he did. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. He's not. All right.
Not true.
He's abused women. He has no respect for women. He likes to have sex with.
You know, he's abused women. He likes to have sex with women. Listen, man. So you ain't gonna get no points saying that I like to have sex or abuse women, bro. Why? Because women are abusing themselves today to the max, right? They don't even want pimps no more. They're going on fucking Backpage. Well, they used to go on Backpage. Backpage. They, Instagram. They're abusing themselves. Like, society is just crazy. It's nothing positive. If you're not covered head to toe, I think you's a hoe. You showing any type of titty, any type of ass, I already know what you about. All right.
Then when he's married, he cheated on all his wives.
women cheat at a higher rate than men.
In fact, I forgot to mention his 2 wives were immigrants. Okay.
So I'm actually back checking this stuff, and he is not convicted of that. I just looked it up. He has not been criminally convicted of that. I don't know why she just lied. This is my problem with these debates, man. I would just hope, my biggest hope is that both sides would be honest when they have these talking points. Both sides would tell the truth.
You know, so now I want to show you this thing here about Trump as well before we get into the actual problem. Check this out. So
that as president, he did this for this young man. Just watch and listen.
Hello, President Trump. I would like to ask you to please release my dad from prison. I know that he made a huge mistake, and he really looks back on his mistake and regrets it, and I feel like he'll never do it again. My dad's been in my life ever since I was young. We have a great relationship. He's been helping me every step of the way. He helps me and my friends. He taught me right from wrong. He does a lot for me that some parents don't even do, and he's incarcerated. So I would just please want you to release my father from prison. Thank you.
This moment was 16 years in the making. Charles Duke Tanner embracing his 18-year-old son.
Boy, man.
Tanner, who is 38, grew up in Gary, Indiana. He was an undefeated light heavyweight boxer and hoped to go pro. He had never been arrested until he was accused of leading a local gang that sold drugs. He was convicted in 2006 of conspiracy to distribute. Tanner received 2 life sentences.
God damn.
That was eventually reduced to 1.
First and foremost, I want to give all the praise and glory to God. Thank you for hearing me. But President Trump, I just want to thank you for giving me a second chance and believing in me and reading my petition. It's just 20 years ago, I fought at the Trump Casino, and now you signed to give me clemency. First, I didn't know it was real until I was able to bring and touch this little guy right here. I left him when he was 2 years old, President Trump. You reunited me back to my family. I lost my mother and my father, but I got him, and this is what I live for. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you so much. And from the bottom of my heart, all praise and glory go to God. Thank you.
So, even if a person is racist, to release somebody from a race that you hate from prison, I think it's far-fetched. I don't think a real racist would do that. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's in his plan, if he's like, you know what, every year I gotta do 7 nice things for the blacks so that they won't know I'm racist. Let's say it was something along those lines. That's more than what a nigga would do. That's more than what Kamala. Oh, we got some dirt on Kamala, B. Yo, that bitch Candace Owens. Psst. Candace Owens is fucking. Yo, I would not want to be that bitch enemy, dog. She found. I don't know how the fuck she found all this shit out, but she do. So check this shit out. We're gonna get started on it right now. Right now. Oh, I can't wait to tell you the shit. That bitch was fucking with them y'all know I can't hold. That bitch fucking with cartel niggas, man. She was motherfucking telling the cartel niggas, yo, fall back. She would arrest the niggas and tell the cartel niggas to fall back. Yeah, man, that bitch is dirty, man. I don't know why this shit ain't blow up yet. All right, I just had to get it out.
Ever encountered someone who staunchly defends a politician, leader, or public figure, regardless of the controversial statements they make? I'm sure we've all seen those devotees who passionately praise their chosen idol despite obvious flaws in logic and judgment.
Despite obvious flaws in logic and judgment. Black fucking Marvel. That's my motherfucking dude. What up? There you are. Yeah, man. I had to end the other stream because the way I had started it off, I didn't feel like it was good enough for you guys and shit. I was still fumbling through the pages and shit. So I was like, let me just start this shit over. Yeah, you.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever been baffled by why an otherwise intelligent friend blindly follows a pundit who routinely argues against common interest? Or why someone excuses a wealthy businessman's callous policies by pointing to their financial success as proof of profound wisdom? If you've had frustrating experiences with seemingly intelligent yet stubborn devotees of irrational leaders or policies, then you'll likely relate to Carlo Cipola's famous writings on human behavior. Cipolla was an economic historian and professor who formally studied and classified various types of foolish thinking, teaching at the University of California, Berkeley. In the 1970s, Cipolla became fascinated by patterns of stupidity and unintelligent decision-making across societies throughout history. While we often think of stupidity as simply a lack of knowledge or intelligence,
Yo, listen, he gonna break this shit down.
Cipolla argued it has fundamental laws and predictable root causes independent of other traits. His satirical yet insightful treatise proposes that human stupidity follows distinct mathematical patterns governing choices that go against common sense and self-interest. As the basis for his theory, Cipolla categorized people into 4 behavioral groups. The intelligent, those who benefit both themselves and others. The bandits, those who benefit only themselves by harming others. The unfortunate, those who cause harm while trying to help others. The stupid, those who harm both themselves and others.
That shit is crazy. I like the way they broke this shit down. You know, I gotta screenshot this shit. I like that. You know what I'm saying? They fall into 4 categories. And stupid people, it's saying stupid people are those who harm both themselves and others, right? As bad as everyone feels, I really hope everything turns out good for everybody these next 4 years. Yeah, man, but you know, I hope so too. But I'm wondering, like, a person that's really angry, are they even going to be able to realize that they're then benefiting over these next 4 years? Because you got some people that are just like that. I mean, you got some people that are like really angry. So angry that they're lashing out at these niggas. Women have divorced their husbands behind this shit. Broken up with their boyfriends. Some girl, she got kicked out. She got kicked out of the house by her parents for voting for Trump. They kicked her ass out. So it's like a person that just has that much hate and anger. Like, say the next 4 years are, I mean, fucking fantastic, right? You know, instead of spending, you know, $100 at the fucking grocery for 1.5 bags, you know, the $100 will get you 3 bags now. Let's just say, let's just say, like, would they even realize that? Would they be able to realize that shit? You know what I mean? I'm just thinking me, because I was a total opposite. If Kamala would have won, I'd have been mad as fuck. Ooh, death and destruction. Death and destruction. I'd have been mad if that bitch would have won. Ooh, because I know these black bras would have been out here just getting crazy. I know it. Oh, the black women and the gays. Oh my God. We would have been outcasts in this motherfucker. Now, let's say she turned shit around. Would Big West have been able to realize that I was benefiting from her being in office? If the benefit was, like, I guess, significant enough, I would probably be able to recognize it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't trust this bitch. This bitch blew $1 billion in 90 days, bro. Hell no. Hell no. This bitch blew $1 billion. Man, listen, they ain't even looking at that shit. Yeah, they were talking cash shit to us every fucking day, bro. Oh my God. Oh, I hate to even think about that shit. All them bitches would have been going there.
Cipolla argued it's this last group of stupid people, driven by an innate tendency towards nonsensical decisions that damn.
Man, that bitch probably bought some cocaine, dog. The shit I found out today, this bitch connects with a fucking cartel. Man, that bitch. Cause how you 20 million broke? So you this poor little Asian girl, like, yeah, my supporters, I assured them that she would win, and they donated, and they're looking for their money. Motherfuckers is looking for their money. What money they looking for? I don't know. Yeah, man, that bitch is dirty, kid. That bitch is dirty. Ooh. So this little Asian girl, cartel. Back when she was in LA, remember when they were saying, oh, she was locking up all the black dudes? So I guess you could call them the big homies. The big homies out there in LA was making little niggas sell drugs. I'm sure they wasn't making all of them sell. They was making some little niggas sell some drugs. And what would happen is she had ties with some of the cartel niggas, and they like, yo, she would be letting them niggas know, yo, fall back, boom, boom, this is what's happening, whatever. I guess, when they making certain drops or pickups or whatever, she would let them know, yo, listen, man, they fucking on to y'all, whatever. But she would sick them on the fucking black boys. Or if they caught one of the cartel members, fuck this shit. We gonna come back to that. We gonna go watch that shit right now. Hold on, where's that? You at? Watch this shit right now.
That she worked to help George Soros essentially commit legal theft. We have just been crawling through Kamala, washing the masses. Clark also claims, rather stunningly, that Kamala Harris was previously married to a wealthy Canadian, a marriage which her connection down there, but you're definitely a major character on my podcast right now. We have just been crawling through Kamala's background and her history. I'm sure you're very aware of that. And we did come across your piece, which was quite fascinating for a lot of reasons. You had mentioned a previous marriage that Kamala had. You had mentioned the MK Ultra program. I would Ultra program here that I've been asked us know toppling Kamala.
Sort of a contemporary of theirs in the book area. I worked at a news service in San Francisco, Pacific News Service, and so very familiar with the characters there, where she lived, of the foreign student population at Berkeley. And I did attend the journalism school, the Graduate School of Journalism at Berkeley. So this is all familiar ground for me. Kamala was a prosecutor later when she was behind the incarceration of like hundreds and probably thousands of young black juvenile delinquents. Yeah, there was young kids, but you have to understand the situation then. The older guys who were running the drug trade for the cartel at the schools, they would forcibly recruit these young guys, and
so they were selling drugs at some schools, and they was forcing the other niggas, I guess, to sell.
She was just slamming them in a prison. It was just horrible, and that's one reason why a lot of black men refuse to vote for her now. She, just that one-sided treatment while she let all the major cartel figures walk, or just warned them, get out of here because the cops are trying to arrest you. So she was in the thick of it. She was the girlfriend of Willie Brown, who was a lawyer. He had a law office for the cartel. Later, he became mayor and a state senator. But
so she married the nigga who was the lawyer, or the girlfriend. What did he say? The girlfriend? The girlfriend. He goes to he was a lawyer for a cartel. What?
A state senator, but she was just in the dirty business. And one of my best friends and proteges, Jeff Adachi, died mysteriously.
Yes, let's actually speak about that. So you have a young friend and your protege named Jeff Adachi, and the first time that I had come across his name was in your piece, and I did do a little bit of research, and it is a fact that he did die rather mysteriously, and I think it would be fair to say that he was a contender of Willie Brown's office. Willie Brown was running somebody against him, definitely made enemies, I would say, of the Democrat elite class in San Francisco. So could you just inform my readers a little bit more about Jeff Adachi?
The thing is, he was at Bolt Hall as a contemporary of Kamala's. He was a straight A student, and she was. They were going to kick her out because her grades were so bad, and they didn't think she'd make it long. She's never been a good speaker, and he was appointed to be her tutor, and got her through Bolt to get her degree. Later on, she was hired to be public prosecutor, and strangely enough, he was a public defender, and he set up this huge program in which a lot of people really, like a lot of parents in the Western Addition and in the Fillmore, those are the black districts, were really enthusiastic because he was getting the kids out of prison. These were really hardcore prisons, and getting them into special ed programs, educational programs, work study programs, and straightening them out. And hundreds of kids, and so the community was overjoyed. And then one day he was found dead in his apartment, and they made all kinds of things that, oh, he had this affair with this Russian woman as if she had killed him. But no, she was just a visitor in town. He had gone over there and chat with her. And then the autopsy was also the first one said, oh, he was died of all these drugs. The second autopsy showed him to be clean. So this was just a major, I hate to use the word conspiracy, but that was a conspiracy about his murder, to eliminate the guy who knew too much about Kamala, had opposed her treatment of young people, and they offed him, basically.
Well, you're on the right program to talk about conspiracies. I'll tell you that for.
So I don't know how. Yeah, bro. I don't know. I don't know how that shit's not being investigated. But that $1 billion, that bitch probably re-up, man. She probably done hit the cartel. Yo, I'm about to send me a case of bricks or some shit, man. I don't know, man. Her husband, the Jewish cat, she probably took that shit and said, yo, man, put like half of that shit, ship half of that shit to Jerusalem or something. I don't fucking know. But how the fuck you spend $1 billion in 90 days? And niggas ain't get paid. I saw the little cute Asian chick, I felt bad for her. She like, yeah, we haven't been paid since August. Since August? Yo, that's crazy. You ain't been paid in 3 months? Niggas got bills. That's crazy, man. So, even if this information would have been out, right? This guy right here, he's talking about, what's his name? Pacola or some shit. He was talking about stupidity is one of the reasons.
Damage even their own interests that baffles intelligent observers. And the root causes driving such stupidity come from characteristic flaws like arrogance, self-delusion, persistent ignorance, absent-mindedness, and more. Cipolle's first law of stupidity is, always and inevitably, everyone underestimates the number of stupid individuals in circulation. Here, Cipolla means that people assume at any given time that individuals thinking or acting stupidly must be a small fringe group among the general population. We figure societies couldn't function otherwise if a large number of people didn't behave rationally most of the time. Yet, as Cipolla points out, this assumption underestimates just how many stupid people exist.
Now, when we talk about the stupid people, I just want to go over some of this shit. That was sad, right? Because just like I said, it's so crazy. The one straight guy that came up there, he was in favor of Trump. Both of these gay dudes were in favor of who? Kamala. This nigga said he wanted Kamala to win because she was like a motherly figure. Nigga, what? A motherly figure.
How you doing, sir?
Good.
John, nice to meet you.
Kobe. Do I start to?
Yeah, I mean, Trump's character,
Okay.
I think that it's generally good. I mean, I don't look to Donald Trump like you. You will never hear me say the sentence, I just think Donald Trump is the best example of how to be a good husband and someone who's very humble about their means. But I think that what Donald Trump represents as a leader is something that's ultimately good. I think that he does put American interests before himself. And
Yes.
I think that, especially when compared to his opponent, Kamala Harris, I don't think that she has integrity. I think that she's doing this to benefit herself. I think that most people in Washington, most people in politics do the same. I think that Trump is a rare example of somebody who's willing to literally lose money, have lower net worth, experience bullets, all sorts of things, legal problems, if it means that he can make his country better. And I think that that's something that's ultimately good.
I do agree with that, but I do have I guess let me put it like this.
Sure.
My mom used to wake me up instead of differently than other children. She used to be like, it's time for school, I guess go ahead and get up. But she would whisper it to me instead of someone saying, get up, Herbie.
Yeah.
Come on. So I feel like Kamala.
These niggas laughing at this nigga.
I'm sorry, that sounds like a touching story.
Well, I'm just saying Kamala Harris is more of a motherly figure.
More nurturing. Trump.
A motherly figure. Hey, I'm not here to. I mean, I'm sure she's a more motherly figure. I think she has. I don't know, motherly figure. A presidential Kamala versus is a more mother. No.
Here go the black chick.
What was wrong with that story?
There was nothing wrong with that story. However, there was nothing wrong with that story. No, but I think it misses the point of this topic, which is the character.
Sure.
Somebody who has the audacity to say that he feels free to grab women by their genital area. He has a wife. He has made sexual comments about his own daughter.
What were those comments?
Were his comments
Yeah.
that if she wasn't his daughter, he would go ahead and marry her or date her. That is not something.
Now, guaranteed, she took this out of context. Guaranteed. This is the beauty of this fucking YouTube shit. Trump says he would marry. Let's see if we can find a clip to get more context to this. All right.
Right to be proud of his daughter. Ivanka is a successful, Ivy League educated businesswoman, author, and mother. She's now helping run his campaign and introduced her father at the Republican convention. Yet at times, his fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
Said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Okay. All right. So it's in the context. Yo, I don't think he meant like. I think he meant as far as the qualities that she has, right? She's educated and she's beautiful and she works some fucking where or some shit like that. That's great. So he's like, yeah, man, yo, if that wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her ass, man, because I'm rich and she'd be here. Like that's what I think he meant. I don't think he meant like, yo, man, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd be fucking her right now. I don't think he meant it like that. Let's go back and see. Let's see. Hold on.
Yet at times, his fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
Said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times on Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of ass. Yeah. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
Hold up. Hold up. Yo, this nigga called his daughter a piece of ass. Come on, bro. Nah, this nigga's wildin'. He's wildin'. Howard Stern is wildin'. I know he's Howard Stern. He says wild shit, but you can say wild shit and be respectful at the same time, bro. It ain't hard, man. That's crazy. It is even more crazy Trump ain't saying nothing about it. But that ain't why I voted for the motherfucker. All right?
In 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of ass. Yeah. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
It's
She's
unbelievable.
tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
In May, Ivanka described herself as
God damn, almost 6 feet tall. I hate tall bitches, man. I don't like tall girls, man. Back shots be awkward, man. You know what I mean? Her fucking, what is this bone called? Whatever from the hip to the knee, whatever the fuck that's called. That shit is extra long and the bitch is too tall. And you know, it's just weird. It's like, you feel like you're fucking up and shit. Like you're trying to fuck up the hip. It's just, I don't like it. Short bitches? I like the short bitches. But yo, his daughters are. Diddy's legal team says feds raided his jail cell and seized a bunch of privileged materials, including notes to his lawyer about his upcoming trial. TMZ has learned. Legal docs obtained Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilio. I don't know why he's still fucking with this nigga. Claims they just found out Friday night that the prosecutors are in possession of attorney-client privileged material that was seized from Diddy's cell. Claims the privileged materials include Diddy's handwritten notes to his legal team concerning defense witnesses and defense strategies. Oh. Feds already admitted to possessing notes recovered from Diddy's cell and says the search and seizure violates Diddy's 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment rights. No, it don't, bro. Not when you're in custody. They can search your shit whenever the fuck they want, bro. You don't like that, man. Man, everybody know about this. Everybody know about the jail searches, man. Them niggas will search your shit whatever they want, bro. Come on, man. Stop it. So they took his notes and turned it over to the prosecutors. That might be what he's talking about. That might be what he's talking about. In this case, who believe may use the material in legal filing to keep Diddy behind bars. Diddy's attorney is asking for an immediate hearing to get to the bottom of things. He wants the feds to answer who authorized the search of Diddy's cell, who determined what materials to take. They can't take his shit. They can't take his shit, man. Nah. Yeah, they had it's a certain height. Like, say you got legal documents, paperwork, and all that shit. You can't have more than a certain foot by foot, 12 by 12, some 12 by 12 of documents. A certain amount of the 12 by 12 foot of space has to be taken. I forgot the fucking shit in the directive. I used to do mad cell searches. and they give a list. You can't, if they really want to be dicks, you can't have more than like 6 pair of underwear or 3 pair of underwear, some shit. They got everything down to a number. But he ain't been there long enough to accumulate that much paperwork. Let me just send this to me. See, that's why he has to be out. That's why he needs to be out. Because they violating a nigga. That's why he got to fight his case from outside of jail. That is exactly why right there. Wow. All right, so let me see. Ready to sell. All right, now where was he saying this shit at? Okay, the used material. Used the material of a legal filing to keep Diddy behind bars. Right? Diddy's attorney asking for immediate hearing to get to the bottom of things. He wants the feds to answer who authorized it, what materials to take, and who decided to give these materials to the U.S. Attorney Office. Who decided to give the materials to the trial prosecutors, and who decided not to tell Diddy about the seizure and what exactly was taken. And they'll be on some bullshit. They'll go like I used to hate doing cell searches when niggas wasn't there. I didn't really like to do that. I felt, I don't like searching niggas' cells when they're not there. Let that nigga be there. Mainly because, two, you got to fill out a form and leave a form that you was there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like that shit. Just let him be there, stand there, hold your mattress. We do this shit. We reached out to the feds so far, no word back. Of course not. Ooh, that's juicy. This nigga got engaged to Megan Good. She gonna leave you, man. Bitch don't love you, bro. Niggas be getting married for love. These bitches don't be loving you. Every thinking the nigga loves him. Oh, he called out Conor McGregor. He wildin'. He called out Conor McGregor. Jake Paul. Yeah, man. Trump daughters is bad as fuck, man.
Was a feminist while defending her father on CBS after a scathing New York Times article about his...
She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
In May, Ivanka described herself as a feminist while defending her father on CBS after a scathing New York Times article about his alleged negative treatment of women.
Is there unending commentary on the female form?
No. I've known my father, obviously, my whole life, and he has total respect for women.
Please welcome the lovely Ivanka Trump.
Still, even Ivanka seemed confused when talk show host Wendy Williams asked about things the two have in common.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
Yo, Donald, what's up? Oh, yeah, nigga, freaky. Oh, God damn. No. I know Donald likes the shock value. He likes that. That shit is wild. You can't say that, bro. You can't say that, bro. You can't say that. You can't say that, bro. Oh. This guy is bugged out. It's like, bro, just shut up. Chill. I know you want to say some funny shit. I know you do. I know you want to say some funny shit. You want to get that reaction from the crowd and shit. This nigga here. This nigga here. Trump is crazy.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that part.
Donald Trump has always been proud of his daughter.
I'd call collect to his office.
Donald Trump has always been proud of his daughter.
I'd call collect to his office. I was probably, 10 years old. He would pick up the phone every single time, and he'd put me on speakerphone. It wouldn't be a long conversation. He'd introduce me to whoever was in his office.
And he was front row when Ivanka took to the catwalk during her short-lived career as a fashion model. Still, Donald Trump repeatedly points out how hot his daughter is, saying last year in a Rolling Stone
I can't, his daughter is fucking gorgeous.
article, yeah, she's really something. And what a beauty that one. If I weren't happily married and, her father.
My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body. She's hot.
Ivanka continues to defend her father and has said he is not sexist. Earlier, her Twitter account showed a little heart liking an article about her father's decade-old comments to Howard Stern. The Trump campaign directed us to Ivanka's brand manager, and a source there tells us it wasn't Ivanka who personally liked the item. It was, quote, a simple mistake by a staff member. CNN has...
Yo, man, what's going on with me? I feel like these white chicks are getting really attractive, bro. The fuck is going on? Not the one with the blonde hair. This one over here, she look like a goddamn freak. All right, so all right, he said some wild shit. That was fucking wild. I've said some wild shit, bro. I say wild shit all the time, bro. People I used to work with, I used to say wild shit. So, sometimes people say shit. Especially when you get older. When you get older, you realize no matter what you say, somebody's going to have a problem with it anyway. So get a laugh out of it for yourself. Laughing is good for your health. Oh, bars.
Say about your daughter. He said this. He's talked about his daughter with Howard Stern.
Is that American exceptionalism?
I think that we are talking about Donald Trump as a presidential candidate.
As a presidential candidate, he's a convicted felon.
And offhand comments he makes on radio
he's
shows.
He's a liar.
I don't think the charges are legitimate.
Propaganda about Haitians.
What was the propaganda about the Haitians?
That they're eating cats and dogs in Springfield.
Are those
they're
the memes?
Not. No. That is something he said in the presidential debate. He said with his whole chest that they're eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio.
There were videos of people eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio.
There has been no known report. The authorities have said they're spreading.
There has been reports. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen the reports. Let me know if you guys have seen it as well.
Propaganda. Haitians are now experiencing hate crimes because of something he said. That was an unsupported claim he made, a very dangerous claim he made. How is that somebody you want to say has a good character?
I'm not concerned about comments he's made on radio shows in terms of
It was a presidential debate.
Well, y'all know Big West. He gonna pull that bitch up. He gonna pull it up. Where's that? I remember this shit.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Now back to our other top story. Last night, President Trump doubled down on claims that Haitian immigrants are eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. Our verified team confirmed with the Springfield mayor that these claims are false. We will talk more on this in just a moment.
But first, here's the thing. The claims stem from a case in Canton where a woman was recently arrested and charged with eating a cat. Our Annabelle Silver is live in Canton where these claims started. So Annabelle, what is the story here?
Well, Matt and Christy, we want to incredibly disturbing. Now, his neighbors emotionally on hundreds is eating it. Multiple disturbing 911 calls.
She killed the cat and is eating it.
Multiple people reported 27-year-old Alexis Farrell was eating a cat on the 1100 block block of 13th Street Southeast.
Yeah, bitch was eating that fucking cat. You know, so let's see here. There was some body cam footage. Right here. Look.
Why'd you kill the cat?
That bitch right there.
Stand up.
She said she killed two.
Stand up. Put your hands behind your back. Someone got rubber gloves. She's covered in blood. I bet you got gloves. You got rubber gloves. Yeah, check.
And then we got the body cam footage of this shit.
Cruelty to companion animals. Huh?
I'm quite sure it's cruelty.
Yeah, that's what it is. Spoke to Deshaun. He stated the female doesn't have possession of her kids. We hear with the cat, she doesn't have possession of her kids anymore. Okay. So,
Yeah, gross thing. She said something about. So, is the Humane Society coming out?
I don't know yet. Judy said they would, and they'll hold the cat as evidence. She destroyed that cat.
Yeah.
This is
All right, so this is in Ohio, right? I mean, hey, somebody eating a goddamn cat.
The stuff he said about his daughter. And then in terms of the presidential debate, things he's saying about what's going on in Springfield, there were videos I saw of people walking with geese, with cats, and they were cooking them outside. Those are
They
real
were
videos.
Haitians? They were Haitians? Has it been reported
I do
by
not-
Springfield? It has not.
Yes, there were residents all
They
over
have
reporting
said
it.
it is not. Okay, a resident?
Yes.
Again, they can just say whatever. Just like Trump said in the presidential debate, they can also say that. But there's no facts. There have been no known reports made to Springfield.
I would just say correlation is not causation. Argument.
That is actually
I don't think
happening.
that's true. There have
That
been
is something
lots of
that
residents
Springfield
that are
has
discussing
said.
it. I don't
Springfield
trust
has said
reporters
it.
and I don't trust police.
You trust Trump?
Yes.
Okay, so again, Trump is a convicted felon. He has.
Why is he a convicted felon?
What do you mean? Why is he a convicted felon?
I mean, why? What were the charges?
Tax. I believe it was taxes with his company. He wasn't filing his taxes correct.
So all these chicks is upset about this guy. Oh, he's a felon. He's a felon. He's a felon. For taxes? Like, what the fuck? The fuck?
So business improprieties.
Right, exactly.
I don't really
That
care
is-
about that.
But that's the same person you want to run your economy.
Yes, because
that has
he-
no.
as
And
we
again,
discussed
that's
in the previous segment, he did a great job running the economy.
And I always get confused when people bring up running the economy, because I think this past presidential election is the only election where we can actually
He makes a great point right here.
compare the two separate economies. For example, Donald Trump ran the economy from 2017 to 2020, and Biden and Harris ran the economy from 2020 to 2024. We can actually say whose economy was better, or who did a better job at running the economy during the times. We don't have to be very hypothetical. We don't have to be very. We can just be very literal when we talk about who ran it better. So the fact that this young woman is completely negating those two economies is very telling.
Just okay.
Well, let me ask you
Let's
this.
go back to his character, though. Let's go back
Sure.
to his character. Let's
Yeah.
not get off topic. Again, he's a convicted felon. He has multiple accusations, which he has been. I don't know if he's been convicted of, but I know he has multiple accusations of sexual harassment. He's a known
And
rapist.
those have all failed.
They have not all failed. They're
They have-
still going through.
No, they've had to settle
He
in civil
has-
court because there's been no, like with the one recently for like $80-something million she had to pay out. It was found out that she had no evidence. There was nothing there.
Okay, and
So-
then one thing that has happened recently that for me was just, it says it plays the day how he is.
Mhm.
In a video, he made a statement. This was in Columbia, South Carolina. He said, "You have a black president and you have a white president. And who do you think they want? They want the white president." That is true. That is true.
That's not true. And it always boils down to some type of liberal, radical talking point. Now she's just talking about critical race theory. If it would come down to a white president and a black president, president. They want the white president. You do realize we had a black president. It was actually right before Donald Trump. We had a black president for 2 terms, and he overwhelmingly won both of his elections. Barack Obama. I don't know how you can conveniently forget this, but what you're trying to do, and I don't want to attack her directly. I don't want to say she's slow or anything along those lines, but what you're trying to do, Donald Trump won the black woman. It's correct. People wanting her what she does as often. We can make
completely irrelevant to the presidency, but he's bringing up race. And again, my issue with him is he's created such a divide in this country, one like we have never seen.
Mm-hmm.
How is that somebody you can say?
We have seen the divide in this country before. Jesus Christ, they never get good liberals to debate these comments. Yo, if there's good liberals out there, black, they purposely don't pick them. They probably have a questionnaire. They say, nah, we ain't gonna use this guy. We gotta make it look silly. Make something, because these motherfuckers, they come up with the silliest shit. You know, it's just listen, the reason why Kamala, I would not vote. I would vote for fucking Kanye West over Kamala, bro. And that nigga's batshit crazy. I would vote for that nigga over Kamala. Yeah, I would. And I would not be happy with the pick. I wouldn't be happy with the pick. I got more excited about the pick, about Trump's election, after seeing the people that he fucking chose. After seeing that he wants to clean out Big Farm, he wants to clean out the feds. They want to get rid of FBI and Homeland. As we see, they're crooked. They're crooked as shit. When I found out they want to get rid of all them niggas, they want to make the military straight again. Oh, damn. Yeah, okay, we can do that. I was actually more. Nah, Destiny, that's the dude with the blue hair. Yeah, that he is a debater. One thing I can say about him, he's a debater. I didn't really fuck with him because I didn't like the blue hair, and you know, I think he's. Hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know, once I saw the blue hair, y'all know how I feel about that trans shit. Y'all know I don't like that shit. So I'm kind of biased to it. You could be getting ready to say something good, but because you got blue hair, I'm like, nah. But I heard him debate. Who the fuck I heard him debate, man? Fuck, I forgot who I heard him debate, man. But he's good. He's on point. He knows his shit. You know, and you know what, man? I can't argue. I can't argue with a motherfucker that know they shit, bro. I can only respect you. And I can respect you as, you know what, this is your view. And I respect that. Oh, his shit normal now? He took the blue out? Didn't he have some wild shit where like this girl cheated on? I thought he was gay, and I found out he had a girlfriend. But his girl did some wild fuck shit. She cheated on a nigga, or some wild shit the broad did to the nigga, man. So you know, y'all know I'm a male advocate. You straight? You straight now? You ain't got a girl. All right. I ain't heard nothing about him, you know.
Do you suck dicks? Sir, no, sir. Are you a Peter Pupper? Sir, no, sir.
I ain't heard nothing about that, so you know. Yo, did y'all see the stream I did with the trans versus them niggas really don't like each other? It was his wife. Oh, not the wife. I ain't gonna front. She probably wanted some real shit. This nigga on top of her with some blue hair and shit. You know, man, listen, man, you gotta give him something to look at, man. You gotta give him something to look at. You gotta give him something to look at. So don't be looking somewhere else. You know, bitches is always looking. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, so let's get into the mass psychosis. Yeah. 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 Dave Chappelle, a lot of that nigga. Now, this is what the mainstream is about right here. This is a meat and potatoes, right? Mass psychosis, right? Check this out.
This dangerous social phenomenon is called mass psychosis. But before we discuss this, consider this quote from the renowned psychologist Gustave Le Bon. The masses have never thirsted after truth. They turn aside from evidence that is not to their taste, preferring to deify error if error seduce them.
Who deify error if error seduce them? Ooh, shit. Niggas was talking like that back in the day. That's some shit right there. Deify error if error seduces them.
Whoever can supply them with illusions is easily their master. Whoever attempts to destroy their illusions is always their victim. This sobering...
Yo, I gotta, hold on.
Whoever attempts to destroy their illusions is always their victim.
Yeah, this shit right here, this is powerful. This is powerful. You know, you tell the chicks what they want. It's like the fucking panderers. The panderers will tell the chick all she want to hear. Like Derek Jackson told these bars all the shit they wanted to hear.
This sobering observation sets the stage for our exploration of how entire societies can descend into madness. You probably think that, surely, the greatest threats to civilization are natural disasters, diseases, or external conflicts. But what if I told you that, according to the famous psychologist Carl Jung, the greatest danger lies within our own minds? Jung argued that our inability to deal with the forces of our own psyche poses the most significant threat to our civilization. It's as if we're our own worst enemies, or as the Latin proverb puts it, man is wolf to man. Jung considered this a sad, yet eternal truism. But when does this wolf-like nature come to the forefront? Jung observed that it's most prominent during those dark periods of history, when mental illness becomes the norm rather than the exception in a society. He termed this disturbing phenomenon a psychic epidemic. In his work, The Symbolic Life, Jung writes, "Indeed, it is becoming ever more obvious that it is not famine, not earthquakes, not microbes, not cancer, but man himself who is man's greatest danger to man, for the simple reason that there is no adequate protection against psychic epidemics, which are infinitely more devastating than the worst of natural catastrophes." It's a chilling thought, isn't it? So, what exactly is a mass psychosis? Simply put, it's an epidemic of madness. It occurs when a large portion of society loses touch with reality and descends into delusions. Now,
What? Loses touch with reality. Damn, bro.
Might be tempted to dismiss this as mere fiction, but history provides us with all too real examples. Consider the witch hunts that swept through America and Europe in the 16th and 17th centuries. During this period, thousands of individuals, mostly women, were killed, not for any crimes they actually committed, but because they became scapegoats in societies gripped by collective madness. Frances Hill, in her book, A Delusion of Satan, writes that, in some Swiss villages, there were scarcely any women left alive after the frenzy had finally burned itself out.
Damn.
Or think about the rise of totalitarianism in the 20th century. Millions of people embraced ideologies that, in hindsight, seem obviously destructive and delusional. Yet, at the time, entire nations fell under their spell. The results of a mass psychosis are nothing short of devastating. Jung studied this phenomenon extensively and observed that when a society succumbs to madness, its members become morally and spiritually inferior. They sink unconsciously to an inferior intellectual level, becoming more unreasonable, irresponsible, emotional, erratic, and
That is today. That is these motherfuckers today. The uplift the liars, but shame and vilify the one telling them the truth, just like Kevin. Facts.
liable. But perhaps most terrifying of all, Jung noted that crimes the individual alone could never stand are freely committed by the group. This explains how ordinarily moral people can participate in atrocities during times of mass psychosis. What makes this phenomenon even more insidious is that those
You know a good example of that? When we had when that pandemic was going on, they would turn it into people who took the vaccine against the people who didn't want to take the vaccine. They wouldn't let these niggas in certain places. You know, you couldn't go here, you couldn't go there, you couldn't go to concerts or restaurants. You know, you had to get to like shit like that.
caught in its grip are often unaware of what's happening. Just as an individual experiencing psychosis can't step outside their own mind to recognize their delusions, there's no Archimedean point from which those living through a mass psychosis can observe their collective madness. So, what causes a mass psychosis? To answer this, we need to first understand what drives an individual to madness. While there are many potential triggers, such as drug abuse, brain injuries, or other physical ailments, we are particularly interested in psychological, or psychogenic, causes. These are the most common culprits behind mass psychosis. The most prevalent psychogenic cause of psychosis is a flood of negative emotions, particularly fear or anxiety, that drives an individual into a state of panic. Now, imagine this panic spreading through a population like a contagious disease. It's the starting point of a mass psychosis. When in a state of panic, it's natural to seek relief. It's mentally and physically exhausting to remain in such a hyper-emotional state. While there are healthy ways to cope with panic, such as facing and overcoming the fear-inducing threat, another escape route is a psychotic break. Now, contrary to popular belief, a psychotic break isn't a descent into greater disorder. Instead, it's a reordering of one's experiential world. It blends fact and fiction, reality and delusions in a way that helps alleviate the feeling.
So, in this situation, right? We've seen these chicks get online and they're going crazy. They're like, "Oh, divorce your fucking husbands. We ain't giving niggas no pussy. We're gonna shave our head," and all of this crazy shit, right? I feel like that's delusion, right? They feel like one of you guys said it earlier that we were going to be enslaved and niggas is going back to the cotton fields and all that type of crazy shit. Like just blending fiction, reality, delusion, all that shit mixed up.
Panic. It's a coping mechanism, albeit a maladaptive one. Silvano Arrietty, one of the 20th century's foremost authorities on schizophrenia, outlined the psychogenic steps that lead to madness. First, there's the phase of panic, where the individual starts perceiving things differently, becomes frightened, appears confused, and can't explain the strange occurrences they're experiencing. This is followed by what Arrietty calls the phase of psychotic insight. During this phase, the individual succeeds in putting things together by creating a pathological way of seeing reality. This allows them to explain their abnormal experiences. Arrietty calls it insight because the patient finally sees meaning in their experiences, but it's psychotic because it's based on delusions rather than a realistic understanding of the situation. In essence, the delusions allow the panic-stricken individual to escape from the flood of negative emotions, but at the cost of losing touch with reality. As Arrietty puts it, a psychotic break can be viewed as an abnormal way of dealing with an extreme state of anxiety. Now, let's scale this up to a societal level. If a flood of negative emotions can trigger a psychotic break in a vulnerable individual, then a mass psychosis can result when a population of vulnerable individuals is driven into a state of panic by threats, real, imagined, or fabricated. But here,
that's the oh, the women are gonna lose their rights. Like, yo, you're not losing any rights, man. You're not losing any rights. You're not gonna be slaves. Like, you know what I'm saying? They really just wanted to see a female run the fucking presidency. You know, Like I said, and you guys can quote Big West on this. I did say that if instead of say Trump wasn't there, say there were 2 female candidates, well, I would have had to pick one. Which one would I have picked? I'd have probably picked Hillary. And I said because Hillary's a fucking gangster. I think motherfuckers will respect Hillary more.
Here's where it gets interesting, because delusions can take many forms, and madness can manifest in countless ways. The specific manner in which a mass psychosis unfolds will differ based on the historical and cultural context of the affected society. In our modern era, one form of mass psychosis stands out as particularly threatening: the psychosis of totalitarianism. Arthur Versluis defines totalitarianism as the modern phenomenon of total centralized state power, coupled with the obliteration of individual human rights. In the totalized state, there are those in power, and they are the objectified masses, the victims. In a totalitarian society, a disturbing transformation occurs. The population is divided into 2 groups, the rulers and the ruled. Both groups undergo a pathological change. The rulers are elevated to an almost godlike status, which stands in stark contrast to our nature as imperfect beings who are easily corrupted by power. The masses, on the other hand, are reduced to dependent subjects of these pathological rulers, taking on a psychologically regressed childlike status. Hannah Arendt, one of the 20th century's preeminent scholars of totalitarianism, described it as an attempted transformation of human nature itself. But this transformation doesn't create a utopia. It turns sound minds into sick ones. As a Dutch medical doctor who studied the mental effects of totalitarianism observed, there is in fact much that is comparable between the strange reactions of the citizens of totalitarianism and their culture as a whole on the one hand, and the reactions of the sick schizophrenic on the other. The social transformation that unfolds under totalitarianism is built upon and sustained by delusions. Think about it. Only deluded individuals would regress to the childlike status of obedient and submissive subjects, handing over complete control of their lives to politicians and bureaucrats. Only a deluded ruling class would believe they possess the knowledge, wisdom, and...
All right. When he was speaking about, when he was talking about mass people and the tactics used, right? Fear. What's that? What's in here? Let me see. Stupidity. All right. We'll jump here for a second. Because I want to take you back to that intrusive thought thing that we looked at a while back. But first, let's go ahead.
Is stupid is independent of any other characteristic of that person. Here, Cipolla means that even wealthy, educated, skilled people can also be stupid. Cipolla considered stupidity as a human characteristic, like having blonde hair or black eyes. Cipolla posits stupidity is a variable that remains constant across all populations. Every category one can imagine, gender, race, nationality, education level, income, possesses a percentage of stupid people. There are stupid college professors. There are stupid people at Davos and at the UN General Assembly. There are stupid people in every nation on Earth. Look at all the educated fans who become blind devotees of music or movie stars, for example, suspending good judgment no matter what their beloved celebrity says or does. The star's talent and fame somehow paralyze the part of fans' brains that should foster critical thinking. Similarly, many people automatically assume business leaders must make good choices just because they became wealthy. Yet history shows seeking profits need have nothing to do with wisdom in other domains. Such leaders gain followings of people who leave their own judgment aside. Cipolla's third law of stupidity is, a stupid person is a person who causes losses to another person, or to a group of persons, while himself deriving no gain and even possibly incurring losses. What Cipolla means here is that people or entities that behave stupidly inevitably cause harm, trouble, or negative outcomes for others around them, even when they gain nothing from their stupid actions themselves and may in fact make their own situation worse. For example, destructive authoritarian governments through history that pursued brutal, corrupt policies at the expense of their own citizens. Such regimes caused tremendous financial losses and suffering for millions of people, while the ruling class hoarded power and wealth only for themselves. Most authoritarian leaders ultimately damaged their own nations as well, once popular discontent and economic decline reached tipping points. Their unjustified cruelty brought harm all around.
All right. So if they're saying that stupidity can be caused by, mass psychosis can be caused by just like panic, right? Scaring motherfuckers. Yo, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be that. Trump is gonna do this, Trump is gonna do that, right? And on the other side, they're also telling them you, and at the same time, you see this person not being able to do the interview, not giving a definitive answer to certain questions that concern the people, or choosing people to represent her, like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and all these motherfuckers. Like that doesn't, to some people it actually did. There were some actual people who were riding with Kamala who jumped ship, not because they liked Trump, but because they saw something that she was doing. They were like, nah, I can't trust this bitch, man. She gonna fuck something up. Now, the reason why would I choose Trump over her before knowing the things that he was gonna do, the people he was gonna select? I felt like, you know what, there was gonna be a division. There might quite possibly be, some problems between black and white, right? But I also realized that we've dealt with that before. Under Trump, way before Trump, Jim Crow and all of that shit, we've dealt with that. We've overcame that. But we've never dealt with a person completely tanking the entire country. We don't know what that looks like. We don't know what it looks like. Well, actually, we do. I got to retract that. The Great Depression. The Great Depression, shit got so bad, people were selling their kids. My question is, who the fuck was buying kids? Why are you buying kids? That's wild. But they were selling their kids, man. Nobody talks about that shit. Times were so hard, niggas was selling their kids, B. Who was the motherfuckers buying these kids? Right? But I'm getting off topic here. Hold on. So we saw this before, Eric Hecker, and what he talked about with this intrusive thought shit.
Technology. This is also in the foray of directed energy weapons.
What is that?
The ability to, let's just say, throw your voice into your head or my voice into my head, or allowing algorithms that now they can blanket a whole geographical area and they can make everybody change their thoughts. They can, I use the term intrusive thoughts. Back to that fork in the road analogy. If you find yourself where you have to make a decision about something, next thing you know, you catch yourself kind of having an argument in your head with your own voices. Well, the ability to add another one of your voices in there, but have it controlled by somebody else's microphone, so to say, is a very powerful tool. And I think this is a weapon of war that we are seeing happen to everyone around us. The Department of Defense recently started initiating protocols for their employees, their agents, to discuss Havana syndrome-like symptoms.
All right. So I think the cause, in a nutshell, the cause of all of this shit was definitely this mass psychosis. Hold on, let me see. Okay. yeah. Gonna double back over here. Mass Psychosis is
and
the
acumen to completely control society in a top-down manner. And only under the spell of delusions would anyone believe that a society composed of power-hungry rulers and a psychologically regressed population could lead to anything other than mass suffering and social ruin. The mass psychosis of totalitarianism has been induced many times throughout history. As Just Mirlu explains in his book, The Rape of the Mind, it is simply a question of reorganizing and manipulating collective feelings in the proper way. The method by which the ruling elite accomplishes this is called menticide, which literally means killing of the mind.
Now, killing of the mind. Everything that we see on TV as older folk, we see this shit on TV. We're like, what the fuck is this? Why are they even showing this? What does this have to do with anything? When you see people who shouldn't even be on TV or making records or selling records, they're doing it. Like the Sexy Reds and the Suki and Hanas. We're like, these bitches ain't got no talent. What the fuck is going on over here? They're rotting our mind. They're telling us that a boy can be a girl and then it is a real girl. What? And they're constantly forcing it. And if you don't call this dude, ma'am, something's wrong with you, then now you could be penalized. Like, this is the killing of the mind, right? We're seeing this shit in real fucking time.
Mirlu describes it as an organized system of psychological intervention and judicial perversion through which a ruling class can imprint their own opportunistic thoughts upon the minds of those they plan to use and destroy.
And that's exactly what was happening, right? They were putting this shit all in, making all these laws. You can look at the military. They got all this special treatment over there. You know, when I was working for the city, every year we had to go for a fucking 8-hour class on how to accept, move around, and communicate with trans people. Huh?
So, how does this process of menticide unfold? It begins with the sowing of fear, placing the population in a state of panic that primes them for a descent into delusionary beliefs. One particularly effective technique is the use of waves of terror. Under this method, periods of intense fearmongering are interspersed with periods of calm. But each period of calm is followed by an even more intense spell of fear, and on the process goes. Mirlu explains the psychological impact. Each wave of terrorizing creates its effects more easily, after a breathing spell, than the one that preceded it. Because people are still disturbed by their previous experience, morality becomes lower and lower, and the psychological effects of each new propaganda campaign become stronger. It reaches a public already softened up, while fear primes a population for menticide. The use of propaganda to spread misinformation and promote confusion regarding the source of threats and the nature of the crisis helps break down the minds of the masses. Government officials and their lackeys in the media can use contradictory reports, nonsensical information, and even blatant lies. The more they confuse, the less capable a population becomes of coping with the crisis and diminishing their fear in a rational and adaptive manner. Confusion, in other words, heightens the susceptibility to descend into the delusions of totalitarianism. As Mirlu puts it, logic can be met with logic, while illogic cannot. It confuses those who think straight. The big lie and monotonously repeated nonsense have more emotional appeal than logic and reason, while the
Oh my God, he's talking truth to us. Whoa. Because it don't make sense, it just irritates you. Exactly.
people are still searching for a reasonable counter-argument to the first lie. The totalitarians can assault them with another. In our modern world, the means to manipulate society into the psychosis of totalitarianism have never been more effective. Smartphones and social media, television and the internet, all in conjunction with bots that spread propaganda and algorithms that quickly censor unwanted information, allow those in power to easily assault.
That's exactly what they were doing, right? Whenever you put up a post, say somebody puts up a post that makes some sense about some shit, or they discover a lie and they put it up, oh, this is misinformation. If you continue to put up misinformation, we'll ban your account and blah, 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 blah.
The minds of the masses. What's more, the addictive nature of these technologies means that many people voluntarily subject themselves to the ruling elite's propaganda with alarming frequency. Mirlu observed this trend even in the early days of modern technology. Modern technology teaches man to take for granted the world he is looking at. He takes no time to retreat and reflect. Technology lures him on, dropping him into its wheels and movements. No rest, no meditation, no reflection, no conversation. The senses are continual beings, like many other species, are more easily conditioned into new patterns of thought and behavior when isolated. Mirlu explains this in relation to the work of physiologist Ivan Pavlov on behavioral conditioning. Pavlov made another significant discovery. The conditioned reflex could be developed most easily in a quiet laboratory with a minimum of disturbing stimuli. Every trainer of animals knows this from his own experience. Isolation and the patient repetition of stimuli are required to tame wild animals. The totalitarians have followed this rule. They know that they can condition their political victims most quickly if they are kept in isolation, alone, confused, and battered by waves of terror. A population under...
So that was the fucking COVID shit.
An attack of menticide descends into a hopeless and vulnerable state. The never-ending stream of propaganda turns minds once capable of rational thought into playhouses of irrational forces. With chaos swirling around them and within them, the masses crave a return to a more ordered world. This is when the would-be totalitarians can take the decisive step. They can offer a way out, a return to order in a world that seems to be moving rapidly in the opposite direction. But all this comes at a price. The masses must give up their freedom and cede control of all aspects of life to the ruling elite. They must relinquish their capacity to be self-reliant individuals, responsible for their own lives, and become submissive and obedient subjects. In other words, the masses must descend into the delusions of the totalitarian psychosis. Merely
Wild shit, wild shit. So, I want to show you this little funny parody right here that they did up with, you see an image of the devil and these issues that they brought up. Check this out.
For meeting with me. You're all doing some wonderful work destroying the world, but I think it's probably time for us to reevaluate.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption, but I think we're in the wrong meeting. We're not here to destroy the world. We're here to save it. You see, we are some of the leading leaders of liberal causes, and I'm with the Human Rights Campaign, who focus on LGBTQ+ and trans rights. You see, I have the equal sign to let you know that I'm a good person.
Oh, excuse me, women's reproductive rights.
Climate.
Free Palestine.
Open borders. I misspoke before. You guys are not destroying the world, okay? You are saving the world.
Hey, whoa, what's up with those scare quotes?
Pretty sure I didn't use scare quotes when I said saving the world. The important thing to keep in mind is that there's a big election coming up, and you and I, we're all on the same page. Okay? So if you want Biden to win, he needs to win in order for us to save the world. If we want Biden to win, you folks, and how can I say this? You might need to tone it down just.
Tone down what?
Oh, that's a good question. You're women's reproductive rights, right? Okay. Excellent branding, by the way. It's much easier on the ears than baby murder. So kudos to you on that one. But opposing any restrictions all the way through to the 9th month, I mean, you see how you're kind of tipping your hand, right? Makes people think, wait, maybe they actually want to kill babies. And we do, obviously.
No, we don't.
Oh.
No, we don't.
Right. We don't. But you see how it can kind of look that way. So that's all I'm saying. You know, let's tone it down. And you, immigration, clearly we don't want a completely open border that undermines any sense of national sovereignty, driving down wages for the working class and overtaxing the welfare state. So let's go a bit easy there too. I mean, why not something like Diversity is our...
Are you trying to say diversity is our strength?
Yes! How do you say that without laughing? Oh my gosh. I can't even get through it. This is head and wow. My sides. My goodness. Okay, what about you? Pro-Palestine. You are, I'm gonna say this. You're kind of coming across like you just want to wipe Israel off the map and kill all the Jews.
We do want to wipe Israel off the map and kill all the Jews.
Of course, yes. And that's awesome. I'm all for that. I love that. But you need to pretend like you don't want to wipe Israel off the map and kill all the Jews.
Why?
Excuse me?
I mean, we're pretty clear in our position, and most young people and everyone on college campuses, and half the Democratic Party, of course, still support us.
Yeah, it's cool now.
You may have a point there. You might be the only person in here that can be as evil as you want to be and get away with it. All right, still, let's think about tactics. Okay, do you think that occupying bridges and blocking traffic is somehow winning people over to your cause?
Yeah, and making people hate us by blocking traffic is our thing. He's stealing our thing.
You're not stealing your thing. You must die. We will kill you all.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, okay, I love the homicidal thing that you got going on there. I really dig it, okay? But maybe market it just a little bit differently. Like the serial killer that everyone thinks is such a sweet guy, you know? He's got 27 bodies in the basement, but he's like, coaching Little League. That's what I want. Be that guy.
Death to America.
You know, the funny thing is, you don't even look Middle Eastern. Am I wrong, people? Am I wrong?
I'm not. I actually grew up on Long Island, but my parents sent me to college. Death to America.
HRC guy, you have been going over the top as well.
Well, it's important for us, they, them, to be accepted just like everyone else.
Yes, of course.
I gotta say something. Accept it like everyone else. How are they not, bro? They're actually treated better than everyone else.
Convincing people that they're intolerant for not wanting men to get naked in women's locker rooms. I guess that's genius. I mean, come on, it's next level stuff. All right, but insisting that your children be mutilated. I mean, come on, let's turn people off, you guys. I mean, not everyone, obviously, but until the election, can we just all pretend for a few months not to be crazed, lunatic, homicidal extremists?
Extremist? No, it's my body, my Donald J. Trump.
You will obey me. Sorry. Glad we're on the same page, though.
Oh my God. So, quick recap. Fucking Kamala was doing some foul shit. We got a dude up there who was willing to fucking state what the hell's going on, right? We went over the delusional shit that these bras be saying about Trump.
Sit here and say you want not only an office, but someone who has a good character. I don't feel like that is somebody who values me because, yes, I am Black.
Sure.
And that is a part of my identity. That makes me who I am. You have to consider that. It is not white and black. It's not black and white. It's not. But for somebody to say and actually say that the two things that make them different, his difference from Kamala is that he's white, and that's why the people want him, that's a dangerous ideology to spread. And we're going to end up recreating history.
Yeah.
If we let that continue, if we let him into office.
Recreating history if we let him into office.
I'm not familiar with the comments you're referring to. It sounds to me like it's just something Trump says offhand. But again, I don't know if you've ever been to a Trump rally. It's like the most multiracial experience you'll ever have.
No, it's not.
It absolutely
They're all
is.
white. They're all white in the background.
No, and you look at...
He just said to her, logically, I don't know if you've been to a Trump rally, but it's very diverse. She's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's all white in the background. This is what you see on TV. There's a lot of Black people that go to Trump rallies. A lot of Hispanic people that go to the Trump rallies. But her, she's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Like, how can you even talk to him, man? It's just, oh my God, look at this fucking
What happened, I mean, Trump was doing initiatives trying to help Black Americans even in the 1990s. He was being honored by initiatives to like increase Black participation in business on Wall Street. And Trump has always gotten along very well with people of all backgrounds. It wasn't until, and a lot of people here are old enough to remember how beloved Trump was as a cultural icon
He had
until
housing
he
and
ran
didn't
for
allow,
president.
he denied housing to Black people.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. He had housing.
That's not
and
true.
he denied to Black people.
That's not true.
About the character.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
In the Capitol, because he likes the power that he has these people just running.
How you doing, sir? John, nice to meet you.
Oh, here talking about the character.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I believe Donald Trump is an okay character myself.
Mm-hmm.
We both share the same birthdays, and I also believe. Sorry for saying, but we as Black people, we get caught up on the wrong candidates.
Yeah.
Like, I think we forget, like, Kamala Harris is the vice president.
Mm-hmm.
So what if she becomes president, what would change if she already the vice president? And
Yeah.
I do feel like when Trump was in office, I feel like it was a better economy and things for us, and
This is the first person I've heard come on here and just be fair. He's the first one who came on here and just fair. And I'm not saying you have to support Trump to be fair. I'm just saying, if you're talking about who's going to be the best, don't matter that much. But let's get back to it.
And another thing, Kamala Harris also locked up a lot of African Americans
For possession of weed, like just, yeah.
And I think we forget about that. So
Yeah, they.
it's okay. It's okay.
I appreciate you, man.
Now I'm gonna bring race into it. 400 years of slavery, and also, just like the history of America. I don't even have to go that far deep, but why is it such a big deal?
They're all a monolith of white people.
Not the same interest, but like I will say, white men are accustomed to telling and not listening.
I think that's a dangerous route to go down, because if you start saying something like, okay, look at the white people in charge of this country, look how badly they messed it up. Well, you look at non-white people in charge of other countries in the world and nobody wants to go live there and everyone wants to come live here. So again, if you start keeping score, you can get to some pretty scary conclusions, which I would disagree with. But
I think my whole point is that, like,
Yeah, your point didn't really make much sense. It didn't make much sense, man. Well, I just want one person to come up here and show any type of objectivity promoting is that I haven't definitely like to know.
God.
2 minutes.
Oh.
So could you just tell me for a second the top 3 positive attributes of Donald Trump that you think make him an excellent leader specifically?
Sure. Incredible resilience, charisma, and transparency.
Can I ask you a question about that? Transparency.
Yep.
That's an interesting word to use specifically for someone who isn't even transparent with the person they pick to be their spouse. Do you think that if you pick a spouse and then have to go cheat on them, do you think that you're very...
God, bro. Oh, people, it's just like church. It's just like people can't separate the person that you're receiving the message from what the fuck they do in their personal life. Man, I don't give a fuck if he cheats on that bitch. I don't care. I like what the fuck he do when he's in office. I like the people that he fucking hired. I like the fact that he's gonna fire the 99% of the people that are in power now. That's what I like. I don't give a fuck what he does. They're talking about the guy, Matt Gaetz. Have you seen that motherfucker in court? He's a beast. It's a fucking beast. They're like, oh, some chick came up. Oh, he had sex with me when I was 17. Well, why the fuck you ain't saying that when you were 17? And why'd you fuck him if you knew it was wrong? I don't care. I don't care what he did outside of that shit. I care about what the fuck they're gonna do when they inside this motherfucker. I care they're gonna stop you niggas from putting these damn crazy trans porno books and fucking in schools and shit like that, and letting what's that? With the fucking drag queens coming. All of that shit. I don't like none of that shit for kids. You don't give a fuck he cheat on his wife, man. Broke niggas cheat on their wife. Everybody cheat on their fucking wife. Wives have fucking backup. Nobody says nothing when a broad goes in there. We're talking about a starter husband. Yeah, she's gonna get a fucking starter husband to get her a house, and then she's gonna divorce him, take the house. She already got her kids, and then she's gonna go live her life. Nobody says nothing about that shit.
Good at judging other people's character?
Yeah, I'm not really concerned with like tabloid gossip. I'm concerned about the border being wide open and the economy.
Do you think it's tabloid gossip if there's physical evidence of it?
Absolutely. And one thing I would say, though, just to, I guess, wrap this up, we've heard a lot about Trump's character like we have for the last 10 years, which, again, he was a beloved cultural figure. It was only
beloved by whom?
Everybody.
I'm from Connecticut, and I can
just shut the fuck up. Shut up. God damn. I know this bitch ain't married.
tell you that New England hates Donald Trump.
He had the highest.
If she was proven wrong, obviously Donald Trump is beloved. He won basically at every metric you can win in a presidential election. He's beloved by somebody because people voted for him. And when you brought up him cheating on his wife, if you're referring to a presidential election, that is kind of gossipy. It's very gossipy, and even it's proven historically inaccurate because there were presidents who were proven to cheat on their wives, and they are still very highly regarded as presidents. Not saying it's right. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you should go out there and cheat on your wife and you'll be a great leader. I'm just saying that in terms of a presidency, there are presidents that I'm sure she supports or supported who definitely cheated on their wives. It's not even a shadow of a doubt. They cheated on their wives. JFK had an entire mistress. You probably still supported them as top or great presidents. But anyways, let's continue.
Rated shows. Everybody loved Trump. And now what we're seeing is these character assassinations by the media.
Character assassinations?
Absolutely. So I guess I would just ask you this. Okay, if Trump's character is the worst, sure. Why do you trust the character of somebody like Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, people who have been career politicians, who have been in charge of this country as it's seen its decline?
Kamala Harris is a prosecutor. I trust a prosecutor to do the job of a prosecutor over a felon to do the job of a felon. Do you think that it is American exceptionalism to have a felon representing our country?
I think Donald Trump is American
domestic
exceptionalism,
and foreign relations.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something you're proud of?
I'm proud of Donald Trump.
You're proud. So you support felons being CEOs and executives. That's what you want to. That's the exceptional America you want to see.
You use the word felon to invoke imagery of scary crime.
No, I'm just asking you.
Tax impropriety.
I'm asking you.
With all of these, like,
you think those are the people that are going to uphold democratic values of honesty, respect, American exceptionalism? You think someone who is actively engaged in lying and fraud is going to do those things?
Which he's not, and he has, and he does.
He's literally in legal, he's in the legal preparation right now. We just don't know how many counts he's going to be guilty of.
Right. And the reason for that, like with all the other persecution against Donald Trump, isn't because they finally found... Excuse me, miss. Isn't because they finally found the one person in politics who's corrupt. I think everybody in this room would agree that D.C. is a swamp and everybody there is in it for themselves, at least for the most part. What's weird to me is that Donald Trump would get in there saying he wants to drain the swamp, and all of a sudden we would see an unprecedented level of persecution, be that slander in the media, be that legal persecution, physical persecution against his safety with assassination attempts, all that, which none of us.
Nobody gave a fuck about his assassination attempts, but just like the rest of those motherfuckers, she's just like somebody just said it. Who was that? IB14 Life. Emotional voting. This is all emotion coming out of this chick's fucking mouth.
Have seen in our lifetimes. So
I've
for
seen
that
it
to
in
make
my
sense,
lifetime. My mom was
for
murdered
that to
during
make
the
sense,
Trump presidency,
for
and
that to
nothing
make
has
sense,
been done about it.
Okay, so it's strictly emotional. You know, sorry about your mom, but it is strictly emotional. You're not thinking rationally.
I've seen what Donald Trump has been responsible for under his presidency.
Because of
what? You're blaming Donald Trump for this? Oh my gosh. I didn't know people were this biased. I had no idea that people were this biased. This is insane. You sound insane right now. You genuinely sound insane. And I kind of feel bad because, you know, I go into these type of videos like, all this is comedy. I'll see you guys later. Y'all genuinely, this is what?
So I've seen his safety with assassination attempts, all that which none of us have seen in our lifetimes. So
I've
for
seen
that
it
to
in
make
my
sense,
lifetime. My mom was
for that
murdered
to
during
make
the.
See, he's saying which nobody has seen in lifetimes. Listen, they made an assassination attempt on Reagan once. He survived it. They made an assassination attempt on this guy twice, which no one has seen in our lifetime. She's like, I've seen it. No, you seen your mom. Something happened to your mom. He's talking about something happened to a fucking president that had 2 assassination attempts on his life. So you're speaking strictly from an emotional fucking place. That's why women should not be fucking president. It's fucking nuts.
The Trump presidency,
For
and
that to
nothing
make
has been
sense.
done about it.
For
So
that-
I've seen what Donald Trump has been responsible for under his.
Yo, the goddamn police supposed to do something about that. Not the president. She just wanted to say that, man.
Presidency
because
about it.
for the unprecedented level of persecution, be that slander in the media, be that legal persecution, physical persecution against his safety with assassination attempts, all that which none of us have seen in our lifetimes. So
I've
for
seen
that
it
to
in
make
my
sense,
lifetime. My mom was
for that
murdered
to make
during the
sense,
Trump presidency,
for
and
that to
nothing
make
has been
sense,
done about it.
for
So
that-
I've seen what Donald Trump has been responsible for under his presidency.
because of
what?
God, bro, dumb, fucking dumb. Yo, we got 2 new groundbreaking things here in this Diddy case. I'm gonna go do some digging and get some more info on this, and then I'm gonna come back. All right, so yo, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna holler at you on the next one. Give me about a half hour to an hour to dig up some shit on this. I'll be back. Peace.